Hey folks, Dr. D here. So we're back. So what we're working on now is a 2010 Subaru Forester. It's going to be a car that, well, we want to see if we can get back together and back on the road. The problem here is, I live in the Northeast. It is snowy and salty and messy and ugly, and the exhaust is shot. So what we have here, you can see, this is entirely disconnected. This is entirely disconnected, so I rusted it through. I just wrapped it up here with some tape just to hold it together. Old hanger to keep it on. And what we have is I have a new catback that I got. I think it was about $435, something like that. So this project, we're going to be taking off the exhaust from the catback, mufflers, both sides, and just replacing it on these guys just to see if we can loosen that up. There we are. Moving the cap back. So I got one of the bolts out over here, and then the other bolt, it's a little stripped. It's hard to get purchase on that top up there, so we'll do what we can. And once we have this bolt out, we should be able to remove all this. Obviously we'll have to clean this up and clean the gasket up, but that's our plan. All right, on the next thing. So in any case, after some struggles, this is disconnected. What I'm going to do now is to remove the cap back up to the muffler, drop that down. Right now it's just really held up by a coat hanger. So I ordered a kit from, where's it from? From Northeastern Exhaust. I got this on Amazon. Here's all the hardware it comes with. It has the rubber brackets, these things here, seal, springs, gaskets, and then two bolts, the 4 bolts for that. It's a little bit different than what's coming off the car. So here's old exhaust. Here is the old catback, and it's all one piece. You can see, except for where it's going to hook in to the exhaust. These here going to come in pieces. It looks like the resonator is a little bit smaller, so obviously this is going to go to what's on the front, and then this is going to get connected to the back of that, and then we have that little piece over there, which is going to go right there, and then we'll hook up the exhaust. The first part of our Northeastern catback back on, so this is where it meets up at the front. I have the flange set up, so we're just gonna seat this and we're gonna get it situated. So I have, this came with the kit. I did add the washer just because things are looking a little raggedy on my end here, so we're just gonna I'm just going to hand tighten this washer and nut on the back here. Then we'll do the same with the second. Hey folks, so now we're on the other side, on the back of the car now. That's the piece that we just installed. What we're going to be doing now is putting this piece in. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to its holder here and right up in here. So the kit actually didn't come with a new one of these. It did come with 4 for the mufflers, but not for this guy. So I'm going to reuse this one, and I'm just going to spray some silicone in there just to make it a little bit easy, just to Alright, so that is now in there. Not sure if you can see it, but is now properly seated up in there. What we're going to do is we're going to hook those up. So we have those two pieces joined up. There they are there, all joined. So I have not tightened up that clamp because obviously I want to be able to move this around quite a bit as I'm getting in the muffler. And this other piece over here that I have to attach. So there's going to be some movement and I want it to move. So we can keep that as it is, but things are coming along. All right. So I'm running into a small issue. The exhaust, rather the muffler hanger that came with the kit, has these very, very, very small holes. And they are not going to fit over these large brackets that we have. So I think instead of trying to fight that fight, I'm just going to use the old hangers and I'll get them off the old muffler and we'll just go from there. Hey folks, so we have one of the muffler holders in place. As I said, I'm using the old ones because the new ones were way too small. Just sprayed some silicone on that, got it on. Next one we're going to do is the other one, which is this guy here and down here. And again, I'm going to use the old holders because that seemed to make sense. Also, while I was down here, there looks like there's a heat shield that is clearly just falling apart. So I'm just tacking that up so it doesn't make any more noise. It's not a great fix, but it's good enough. Alright folks, so we have this guy installed now, which is great. So the muffler is now freely hanging. All we have to do now is attach this, get this plastic off, put the gasket in, tighten it up. Okay folks, so we're going to install the connection between our catback and our muffler. Here is the gasket I'm going to be using. It came with the kit. This is Northeastern Exhaust. It's a stainless exhaust. It honestly looks pretty good. So since this is brand new, I'm not going to use gasket seal. I'm just going to use this new gasket because everything's all smooth, no rust, nothing I need to fret about. So. Okay, so those are obviously just hand tightened on. Now we're going to need to do some more wiggling around. So I'm just keeping these very loose so that I can do the other side. All right, let's get started on that. I'm going to stop now and we'll pick it up. All right, folks, so we have the rear bracket on the passenger side of the muffler installed. Next one we'll do this guy here, which is going to hook up here. Then we'll move on. So we got the brackets up for the passenger side muffler. Now we're just going to install the connecting pipe and our gasket, and then we can start cinching all this up and getting things on the road. Alright, so here is our other piece. Okay, now we're back. So the first thing I'm going to do is just slide this guy over here so we can begin to get things situated. Make sure that's going to seat all the way in there, and it does. well, those are cinched down. Guys here, both sides. I think all that remains now is for me to check the torque specs. So our job here is complete. So what we did here was replace a catback and mufflers on a 2010 Subaru Forester. So we start way up there where it's going to connect to the manifold. Come back up here. We have the resonator. This pipe, that's the Y. This connects directly into the muffler on the driver's side. And we go back to the Y. There's another piece here that connects in here and then hooks up to the muffler on the passenger side. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you next time.